Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for checking out this video here on Show, Style, and Spirit. I am Ebony, of course, and as you can see from the title of this video, I want to give my commentary on Dustin Ross's latest interview with a cast member from Love Marriage Huntsville. Just this past weekend, it was with Tisha. So there are a couple of things that I wanted to highlight from the interview, including her fragile, broken relationship with her cousin Keke, as well as Tisha speaking on the fan base. She actually gives some examples of people showing up, not to just Stormi's warehouse, not to just Black, but to other places as well. Now, before we get into these topics that she speaks on, I ask that you please hit the like button on this video, right? You all knew that I was going to ask it, right? It is a free way of supporting the channel, so it would mean so much to me. And if you have not already done so, please subscribe to Show, Style, and Spirit. That would be wonderful as well. And then turn on your notification bell so that you'll know whenever I upload a video. And everything that I'm saying in this video is alleged and just my opinion. And the Copyright Act of 1976 says that my fair use commentary on these sound bites are allowed for criticism. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So I am going to start off with her Keke sound bite. And it is about 5 minutes long. She's going to get into, their kids, and how Keke really wanted to come on the show, and she did not want to wait any longer. She did not want to wait on Tisha. So I'm going to go ahead and play it, and then I'll come back with my commentary.
It was so weird because when we first heard that we was going to get the show, when the show first was picked up, of course, Keke and I was close. She was like a sister to me. I don't have any sisters. I'm the oldest. I have 2 younger brothers. So she was like a sister to me. And I was excited to share the news with her. And I remember when I shared the news with her, she kind of got upset with me later on because she wanted to bring some type of trip to the producers. And I'm like, girl, let me get in first. Once I'm in, I will bring you along. Like, I don't even know these producers. Let me get in first, and then I'm going to bring you along. And when this opportunity came, I brought her in, like, for my Hey Brown Girl event, because she said she always wanted to be like a speaker. So for like my Hey Brown Girl event, I was like, I want you to come get on stage with me, share this with me. So I wanted to bring her along, but I guess the way I was doing it wasn't fast enough for her. And so she came about in a shaky way. And that was extremely hurtful for me. But still, I'm like, okay, girl, let's wash it out. We can talk about it on the show. Our relationship is not where it used to be, but you're on the show now. So, let's film the real. If we can get back to where we used to be, if we can get to a better place, then let's just showcase that. So, and you got to see how it went down.
I know that had to be hurtful. I'm a person who, I love my family, and I'm very loyal when it comes to relationships, friendships, things like that. And so watching these shows, these ensemble cast reality shows, especially when family members are involved, it pulls out our heartstrings a little bit, because if you've ever had a disconnect from someone you were once close to, when you watch that go down in front of your face, you can't help but feel something. How did you manage How did you manage your emotions? Because you're on camera, and essentially you're working, you're performing a function, right? And again, this was kind of like your baby. How did you manage wearing those 2 hats, right? Like being Letitia, the television personality, as well as dealing with some real shit. Like, this is my blood cousin. We are literally being adversarial towards one another because of something hurtful that she did. How did you manage that, Letitia?
Oh, I was hurt. I was hurt. I let Keke know I was hurt on camera, off camera. When we had our boxing match we had our scene at the boxing ring. I'm like, listen, stop doing this. Don't do this. And she was like, okay, I'm going to stop. And so I thought it was done. And then once I found out she was doing, again, shady stuff behind my back with the bloggers, I was like, I'm done. I was like, I'll give you enough chances. I can't do this anymore. And of course, I don't want to fight my cousin on TV. Our daughters, they're 12 friends. They talk on the phone every day. Her daughter still calls me auntie. It was moments on the show when she was filming, dogging me out. Her daughter was on vacation with me and my family. Like, I have plenty of pictures of her kids on vacation with me and my family. So I was hurt about that. And I was like, I'm done. I can't do this no more. So when we had that picnic, the barbecue that we had at Kimmy's house, and when she threw the drink on me, that's the most embarrassing moment for me on TV, period. That's at the top right there. Because I'm like, not only are you on this show disrespecting me, disrespecting my husband, disrespecting my marriage, and then you're going to throw a drink on me? Like, that was the low of the low. And after that, I have not spoken to her since then. And I do not want to talk to her. I was like, I'm done. This relationship is dead to me.
That was going to be my next question for you is what the status of your relationship with Keke is like today. Has she tried to reach out to you and offer any sort of resolve or apology or anything, Tisha?
She have not tried to reach out to me. And at the end of the day, she has her truth of what she feels like, I've done to her. And I'm like, what have I done to you? I said it in the scene. We was at the kickbox. I'm like, Keke, tell me, what is it I did? Like, because you keep saying I said something, and I thought we moved past that years ago. But yet still you're bringing it up now. So it has to be something deeper that's going on. You know what I'm saying? And for some reason, she wouldn't tell me. And I'm like, I had to be okay with knowing that I did nothing to this girl. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, we had our moments. But at the end of the day, she know that I was a great friend to her, a great cousin to her and to her kids. So I live with knowing as long as you know you did right by a person, you can't determine their reaction or how they feel about you. That's up to them and their God. And when she look in the mirror every day, she know the truth and I know the truth. So she has to deal with that, whatever it is that she's feeling about me.
Sometimes you just have to leave things right there.
There we go. Yeah.
I love that you all are still able to maintain the relationship amongst your daughters. They're cousins and they're still best friends. So I think that's beautiful. And hopefully that's some sort of semblance of resolve at the end of whatever this situation is, because you guys are family, and as viewers, ultimately we want to see the resolve, especially when you're talking about family. So hopefully some way, find your way back.
Okay, so that it was just a couple seconds left of Dustin saying, hopefully you two will find yourselves back. But with Tisha saying that the water toss was the most embarrassing thing, I have to say, Tisha, those puppets that you brought out to the season 5 reunion, that has to be at a close second. So the water toss by Keke, that may be Sha'Carri Richardson, but number 2 is definitely close behind, and it is the puppets that you brought out to the reunion. I had such secondhand embarrassment for Tisha when she came out with those puppets. And it was tripping me out because she really thought that she ate that scene when she brought out the puppets. And it was just so cringeworthy. Oh my gosh. But so she and Keke, they are not speaking. She has not spoken to her since the water toss. And she said that as soon as Keke learned that they were going to film for a reality TV show, Keke wanted to be a part of it. And Tisha said, I'm just learning this. Let me learn this. Let me get to know these producers. I don't know who these people are. And once I get a feel for what I'm doing, then I'll bring you on. I think that is totally normal. I'm surprised, according to Tisha, it seems like Keke did not understand that. I remember I watched the Unsung for After 7. I love that group. And they are brothers to Kenneth Babyface Edmonds, the famous singer, songwriter, and producer. When he got a record deal singing with the group called The Deal, his brothers were like, oh, you gotta, we want to be in a group too. You gotta get us a record deal. You gotta get us a record deal. And Babyface said in his confessional, if you will, for Unsung, he said, my brothers, they all had good jobs back home. One of them worked for Chrysler. Another one sold insurance. And I can't remember the third job that the third brother had, but it was a professional job. And so Babyface said he told his brothers, don't y'all quit those jobs. At least work them for as long as you can. And if you were to lose them, then I'll try and get you a record deal. But shoot, that was definitely the black man and Babyface talking. I don't care how good you sing. Those are good jobs. And then this must have been like around the late 80s. And then once their jobs ran out, you know, like the automotive industry, no telling what happened. I would have been a kid at that time, but whatever happened, their jobs ran out, and that was when Babyface got them the record deal. So I thought of that as I was watching this interview. And I know that it kind of sucks to be patient sometimes. It kind of sucks to wait. But if your cousin literally just is filming season 1 of a reality TV show and she's never filmed before, Keke, why do you think she would just walk up to strangers, producers, and say, "Ooh, and I got my cousin, she want to come on"? You know, no, she didn't want to do that. She wanted to at least figure out what she was doing so she could put you on. And then, like Tisha said, she did. She brought her onto her podcast. But, you know, Keke wanted more. She wasn't satisfied. So she offered up the chance to talk about Tisha and Marcel's marriage to come on the show. And Tisha did not like that, but she said she forgave her, still filmed with her, still effed with her. But after the water toss, she was done. So it sounds like, I think we may see Keke again for the second half of season 7 that they're filming right now. So I don't know if these two end up having a scene. No, well, I'm guessing they're not, because she just said in that soundbite, "I have not spoken to her since the water toss." So no, she's not filming scenes with Keke. So I guess it really is a wrap. All right, so then Dustin is going to bring up the fan base, the millimeters, and Tisha is going to go into great detail about her thoughts on them. So I'm going to go ahead and play the soundbite and then come back with my commentary.
You know, outside of the family, like amongst the core 6, right? The relationships, we talked a little bit about that earlier, about how you guys have been able to find your way back to some sort of like harmony amongst the cast. You've spoken before on the show about how maybe like some of the fans, and we do know that this show has a very, very passionate fan base, right? The people that watch the show really attach themselves to the relatable and dynamic stories that you guys present on the cast, right? I think that we see a little bit of ourselves in all of you, and so it endears us and kind of connects us to this story. But the fans can be very, very passionate in their commentary and in their existence around this show. You mentioned on the show previously that Melody's fans in general have been of note when it came to the way that they engage with the show. Talk to me about that, because I think that on the show we kind of just hear you guys bring it up, but we didn't really get it down to what actually takes place. So like, what types of things would you like to see changed from the fans of the show as they watch and enjoy the show throughout the season, that will give you a different experience with the fans? What do you want to see change?
Yeah, I think that if the fans want to have a good show, they want to be entertained. And you can't entertain people or give them a good show when they're coming for our livelihood, our businesses outside of the TV show. When you have people popping up at your lounge and popping up at your warehouse and taking pictures and just making it like, why are we doing this to one another? Like, at the end of the day, we should all want to see each other succeed and, you know, use this platform and do something great that would change the generations to come after us. So I think it would be great if they would just watch the show. Watch the show, have your favorite. You know, everybody's going to have their favorites on the show. That's fine. And keep it strictly about what you see on the show and what's on the show. Stop trying to do background checks and all this evil stuff. Like, it's coming from, I mean, I watched reality TV since Real Housewives of Atlanta, and never ever have I tried to call one of the cast members, say, "Hey girl, I really like your hair and cuss them out." You know, I ain't like the shoes you had, or like I get personal, I get emails. Marcel did a live the other day showing the home that we're building, and our business numbers is on there. I'm getting so many calls, cussing me out, calling me everything. I'm like, why someone, saying the worst things that you could possibly say and think of to them, like, that's just evil. And it's like, stop it. Stop.
Yeah, I agree. I think there needs to be a separation of just watching the show and being entertained in it, and being entertained by it, excuse me, as opposed to, as you said, stalking, going after different things, going up to different locations, and just kind of overstepping as a viewer. I think there does need to be a clear line there as it takes place. And I noticed you mentioned going up to someone's warehouse, because we know on this past episode, Stormy mentioned that someone had came to her warehouse and now she was facing a warrant for having a bit of a, incident when they were there. You said that people have come up to Black to your cigar lounge before, and
yes. So the cigar lounge, we've been in this hotel up the street here. They have come there, and employees like, we're about to call the police because you can't be out here working on a site that we're building on. You get a hard hat on, you hurt yourself. We're liable for that. Yeah, so it's like, why are we doing that? It's bananas to me. It's crazy. Like, watch the show. The group, especially, I can speak for the originals. Like, we're like a great group of people. We work hard. We play hard. We're smart. Most of us, we all went to college. We're fraternities, sororities. You're going to get it all. You're going to get, we can talk in a boardroom, or we can get down and dirty with on the stage, game. Yeah. Like, you're going to get it all. We have that. And so if you just pay attention, then on top of that, you're getting real issues that we're having within our marriage. Like, Marcel and I had a thing yesterday, and we talked about something that was real and raw.
Okay, so before I get on her thoughts about the fan base and the examples that she gave of violating boundaries, did you peep at the end of that soundbite where she's basically trying to say, like, why do the negative people, why are they so mean to us? Because we're good people. And she says, I'll speak for the core 6. We are good people. We are college educated. We work hard, and so I feel like Tisha, I wonder, is she like in a cliquey mood, does she miss it just being the core 6 and she's not really feeling some of the newer cast members? We know that she does not care for Sunny because she bonds with Destiny and is on her side in terms of the whole Sunny, Destiny, Moses situation. We know that Tisha is at odds with Stormy, or fake beefing with Stormy, and Stormy is not a part of the core 6. So I'm guessing that she's not really feeling the newest additions to the show and anyone who is outside of season 1. But she gave examples, including people showing up to homes that, are under construction. She said that that's even dangerous for the fan base and that they would need a hard hat. I do want to point out, Tisha, people showing up at a construction site of yours, that's not totally new. And like you said, you've been watching reality TV since the Real Housewives of Atlanta. So I'm sure you remember that when Sheree first started building Chateau Sheree, the bloggers Michelle Brown and Funky Dineva, they had photos of themselves standing in the middle of that dirt and grass in Sandy Springs, I believe is where the chateau is. They were standing there. And again, if you've heard me talk about how I used to read straight from the A.com, way before Michelle even started her YouTube channel, I used to go to her website and I would read. And she would have those photos posted. So people checking out, a house that you're building is not brand new to Love and Marriage Huntsville. I just want to point that out to you. And then she talked about, people searching background records. And again, that's not new either. And I've seen that on straight from the A.com in terms of like police reports and mugshots, particularly on Married to Medicine with Quad when she was married to Dr. G. They were having a really bad argument one night, allegedly. The neighbors could hear. The neighbors dialed 911 and the police arrested both of them. And, you know, then there was like the police report for an alleged altercation between Quad and Mariah Huck's sister, Lake, honey, over Lake's then husband, but you definitely ain't heard that from me. So I just say that to say, Tisha, when it comes to reality TV stars, people do look up police reports, mug shots, tax liens, all that, you know, so it's not totally new to Love and Marriage Huntsville. And, you know, those are not unique situations. But she definitely has some strong words to say about the fan base, calling the fan base, you know, there are some evil people in this world. You know, I'm sorry to hear that she gets phone calls where people are just like randomly cursing her out, you know, but I would say, like, if I was their PR rep, I assume none of them, I'm sure I wouldn't be surprised if Melody has like a PR rep or if that falls under like Dawn. But I would say, you know, when you do these interviews, Tisha, and you speak on the fan base, especially if you're going to say some of them are evil, recognize, acknowledge the fact that you know that the entire viewership, we are not all mean to you. We are not all showing up to your construction sites. We are not calling your business phone and cursing you out. We are not, you know, coming up to Black in a stalkerish way, according to you. Acknowledge the fact that the entire fan base does not act in an abnormal or unhealthy way. That's what I should say that they should do. You know, that's something that Marceau could have said in his scene with Melody as well. But what did you all think about Tisha speaking on Keke as well as the fan base? I thank you all so much for checking out this video. I always appreciate the support. Please hit the like button on this video. Again, it is a free way of supporting the channel. And please subscribe to Show Style and Spirit if you have not already done so. And definitely, if you ever feel awkward, you know, like saying your affirmations in the mirror, I would just say, try to ignore that awkward feeling and just do it anyway, because you'll feel proud of yourself that you overcame something that was making you a little uncomfortable. And affirmations, they really help you paint like a clear picture of yourself when you know some of the many great attributes about you, some of the great traits that make you you. So definitely don't think that you're being corny or foolish by saying your affirmations. You know, just do them anyway. And, you know, if you are trying to grow in your spiritual journey and maybe you feel a little strange when you pray, again, try to ignore that feeling and just do it. And really the consistency as much as you can, you know, you'll feel more and more comfortable with it. And I think that it'll really center you. And I know for me, journaling and going for walks and prayer, those things help to center me and help me focus, especially when I'm feeling stressed. Sometimes it's hard to focus on something that I need to tackle. So when I can like journal about what's on my mind, or if I can write out the things that I need to do and I can go back and check them off, it helps me to feel productive and it helps me to focus. All right, y'all. Well, I hope you all have a fantastic night. Be safe, and I will talk with you soon. Bye.